It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Once again, no intro on this because I'm just trying to get content out the way, and I don't really want to go scrounging looking for different joints to put in front of this content. So today we're going to be missing out on those intros. I apologize for those of y'all that love them. Much love and respect. I appreciate it. But now we need to get into we got to get into Spotify. They just released their gold standard exhibit, which is basically their signification of the new golden era in female rap. Okay? And apparently this exhibit was unveiled on July 31st at the Hole in New York City to honor female artists who have set the bar in hip hop. I just found out about it this morning, and as I'm seeing it, I'm seeing a lot of the new ladies on here, but we're not seeing one particular name, as in Nicki Minaj. She was excluded. Woo, this is about to get deep. It's about to get deep, okay? Now, some people on the internet, I guess they don't understand what the gold standard exhibition is all about, because there's some other folks that are saying, well, where's Lil' Kim? Where's Missy Elliott? Where's other female rappers from earlier generations? And they're completely missing the fact that they're talking about current crop of female rappers. Okay? So let's go over who actually is in this thing, and then we'll kind of reverse engineer it from there. All right. So I'm going to show y'all on the screen who we've got. Okay. So in this exhibition, we've got Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Doja Cat, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, Flo Milli, Lotto, Glorilla, The City Girls, and Sweetie. This exhibition was created by Mali-born artist Manon Birnaki, who painted the artwork. They say, according to Hip Hop Wired, she said that the series allowed her to honor and uplift voices. Direct quote here, she states, as an artist with a rich cultural background, I am passionate about celebrating the origins and stories of diverse female artists. Projects like the Gold Standard allows me to honor and uplift voices that resonate with my own experience and heritage. We'll go ahead and take this off the screen. The free exhibit welcomed people to look around, encouraging visitors to take pictures of the paintings and learn more about the rappers from their biographies. The exhibit also portrayed an array of food and was covered with mirrors with the words "Feeling Myself" on them, where visitors could take selfies. Visitors were also given pamphlets that mirrored a replication of the rappers' paintings, with a QR code in the back that would take them directly to said rapper's Spotify playlist. So they're getting extra promotion from Spotify with this QR code to get additional streams on them as well. The central exhibit drew inspiration from Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel paintings, with all the female rappers painted on a cloudy backdrop. The room was also filled with cloud-like decoration, with chairs in front of the main artwork for people to take pictures. A reel on Spotify's Instagram page showcased Flo Milli, Lotto, and Sexy Red visiting the exhibit and taking pictures with their paintings. The three rappers also took a group photo in front of the main artwork. Okay, which I thought was interesting because it wasn't that long ago that we saw Sexy Red's sister throwing shots at Lotto, and it seemed like there could have possibly been a chance that they would go head to head, but all of that has been squashed. Sexy Red said her sister doesn't speak for her, and that it was not to feed into the cap, and so, or I think Sexy Red's sister said, "I don't speak for my sister. This is how I feel. I'm doubling down on that shit too," and it is what it is, right? So I guess we can get into the exhibit, show some of what's going on, show some of the ladies that are up there, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this discussion, which I want to get into and talk about. the golden eras of female rap, because I think it's very key that we talk about this. I know some Nicki fans are fucking heated right now, and I'm actually not mad that y'all are heated. I think she deserved to be on here, even though she's from a time well before a lot of these women. But we're gonna get into all of that in a minute. So here we are. First up, we got Lotto visiting the exhibition.
I got the remedy. Bad I love it. So I want to take it home and put it in my house. I did just buy my house. I just bought my new house. And this needs to be in my house. Carl. We got it. This is just so grand. It's so neat. Extra points for the cross. Plus 2,000 points for the cross.
So as we can see, Lotto was very satisfied with her depiction in the exhibit. I mean, if you're featured in an art exhibit and they actually make your depiction look pretty accurate, I think anybody would be pretty happy about it and not give a fuck about who was missing. I'm gonna be honest about that. If you're Lotto, you ain't worried about who ain't show up on that motherfucker. You worried about, I see y'all got me on that shit and I'm looking right. Cool. I need a replica at my crib. Thank you. So I understand that. We've got Flo Milli that pulled up.
Look at the princess. This is so cute. I love this. You see the art? This is everything. I love it. Oh my God. It's so cute.
Now, Flo Milli is one of the newer additions in the women in rap, women in hip hop category. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't really had like a long run of success. I think she had her biggest records this year with the Never Lose Me record. But she's on the incline. She's coming up. She's solidifying herself, building her buzz, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm glad that she's, being mentioned, being acknowledged, and, kind of being embraced by the greater powers that be when it comes to the forces in female rap, because we see Lotto embracing her. We've definitely seen Megan Thee Stallion embracing her. We've seen Cardi embrace her and even do a feature for her. So shout out to Flo. And then, of course, Spotify, they have their own walkthrough of this exhibit as well. So here's what they put up. All things considered, this exhibit is fucking dope. All things considered, the art is fresh as fuck. It's fly. I think it's dope. I think all the ladies on there deserve to be on there because it is an era piece. And over the course of the last 7-8 years, these women have emerged. They are the new generation. However, when we speak about golden era in female rap, I want to address a few things. I've got a lot of thoughts down. I had to write my thoughts down because this shit we're gonna have to go over hip hop history. Right? So when it comes to doing a golden era of female rap and not including Nicki Minaj, which is really the big conversation, let's look at where Nicki Minaj fits into hip hop, because she came in at a very interesting time where she didn't really have many peers. Any peers, actually, if we want to keep it a buck. And I think that is now starting to work against her. as far as community is being concerned and inclusion, which honestly I can't even say it's her fault. But just walk with me down memory lane, shall we? So I gotta say, with this commemoration via Spotify, this feels like the third golden era of women in hip hop. First golden era would have to be late 80s going into the 90s, right? Mid to late 80s going into the 90s. You know what I mean? You got your first female MC with MC Shyrock. You got Roxanne Shante coming on the scene. She's battling motherfuckers, going at niggas in the game. You got MC Light, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper's here. You know what I mean? Get to the 90s. You got Lauryn Hill. You got Missy, right? You got Kim and Foxy who come. Moni Love, who's more of the, right on the heels of Queen Latifah. You had Boss, who, rest in peace to Boss. If you've never listened to Boss, look her up. She was hard. She was hard. She could fucking rap. She didn't get her fair shake. Rest in peace to Boss. Left Eye, rest in peace to Left Eye, another spitter. Yo-Yo, Michelle. I hate to throw Queen Pen in there because she was basically like a knockoff Lil' Kim, but, she was out. You had Lady of Rage with Death Row. You had Mia X with No Limit. Bahamadia, underground legend. Even Angie Martinez was out here. She jumped on the fucking Ladies Night remix before she dropped her album. She didn't even have a desire to be a rapper like that. She was a radio personality converting over. But just think of how many names we talked about from the mid to late 80s to the 90s, right? Not to mention those unsung heroines that we just don't speak about or just didn't get the shot, just didn't get the opportunity to really excel beyond. But that's a lot of fucking names, right? Then you get into the second golden era of female rap, right? And this is where you come from, like the very end of the 90s, 98, 99 to I would say maybe 2005, 2006. So now with this second generation, we've got Eve, we got Trina, Kim and Foxy are still kind of in their groove. They're still charting. They're still doing their shit. They've survived through the 90s and they're the top dogs, right? Which created some issues with Eve. Right? But then you also have the ascension of Remy Ma coming in. She signed with the Terror Squad. She made her appearance on Big Pun album and all of this different shit, right? Charlie Baltimore is coming in. She was first discovered in the 90s, but she really got thrown in front of us a little bit during her Murder Inc. era. She wasn't really in front of us as much when she was with Un and them niggas. You got Rod Digger with Flip Mode Squad, Busta and them. Jackie O coming out of Florida. You got Shauna with DTP, right? You want to throw in Vita from Murder Inc. She never really put an album out, but she was out here. She was in the Belly movie. You know what I'm saying? You had Emil who was with Rockefeller, never got her album out. You know what I'm saying? All her best appearances were just features. Same with Vita. But they were around. They had a presence. Missy's in her second era at this point. You know what I mean? Third era musically because she was a songwriter first. She was doing backgrounds and stuff on people's albums. Then she started, you know what I mean, putting her own music out and shit like that, writing for other people still, producing. Right? You had Gangsta Boo. You had Kaya. LaChat. So many others. This is a very bountiful, plentiful era. So this is the second generation. So many names that you could call out. So many albums that you could go cop at any given moment, right? But then 06, 07, shit starts getting a little shaky. We get our first remnants of Nicki Minaj. She pops up on the Come Up DVD, right? She's coming out. She's rapping. She was fucking rapping. You know what I'm saying? They're transposing and recreating images from the Lil' Kims and the Foxy and all of this shit and whatever. I'm not even here to criticize none of that shit. Right? But a lot of the ladies that were in that previous era, They either got dropped by their labels, lost their deals, started focusing on family, having children. And at this time, when the ladies were having children and wanting to focus on family, your career was over. It was basically time to pack it up, and yeah, you could do shows, especially, you know, if you were still associated with a male dominant group or label, you could still go tag along with the guys. But your career was really kind of over. So then we get Nicki. And unfortunately, the era that's kind of bubbling while Nicki is still on her mixtape vibe, you got like Young B. My chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side. You know what I'm saying? You got Lil Mama with my lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is cool. So now we enter our female rap bubblegum era, which was pretty much in tandem with the rest of hip hop's bubblegum era, right? So by the time Nicki drops her debut album in 2009, the ladies that were front and center are no longer here. Eve is on her first, you know what I'm saying, getting her first taste of rich girl activity. She's fucking with billionaires from overseas and shit. She ain't worried about hip hop. She swung that tambourine and got the fuck up out the church. I don't mean the church in general, but you know, she swung that tambourine and got a hustle on. Got the fuck out the way. She had that goddamn TV show and said, man, fuck this rap shit. I listen to classical. If you don't know where that came from, I'm sorry. So Foxy going through health issues, loss of hearing, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the most gleaming situation for her. Remy locked up, going to prison. Lil' Kim struggling to get her footing, fresh out of prison. She don't even know where she gonna get her next deal from. Cash Money tried to bring her in to be a mentorship role for Nicki. We see how that turned out. It didn't work out too well. Not here to criticize that. So then, you know, Nicki goes through her mixtape run. She goes on the road with Waka, Gucci, you know what I'm saying? Young Money finally want to play ball. They give her the deal she needed, to give her the money to, you know what I mean? Put her on. Like, let's get her out there, man. Fuck it. Let's do it. So now she's out here and she got to be performing on a clear runway for the next, if the first album drops in 2009, she has a completely clear runway till like 2016. There was really no other competitors. And the only person that really dropped in 2016 is Young M.A. with Ooh. Y'all remember that. And we see Young M.A. is not even included in this era's golden era in the iconography, right? So you see the mid 2010s, it was just looking crazy. Now, of course, we did have Rhapsody. Rhapsody was here the whole time. She been fucking around and putting music out since like 2004, 2005. But she didn't get on our radar till 2015. Really, 2017. Like 2015 with the feature on Kendrick, To Pimp a Butterfly. Her next album drops in 2017 and kind of capitalizes off of that buzz. I wish she would have dropped a little sooner. Right? But with Rhapsody, she still hasn't been embraced by any era like that. She's omnipresent. She's here. She makes money. She's got deals. She got brand deals that a lot of people don't know about. She's done voiceover work. She's written raps for commercials and shit. All type of stuff, right? She wrote raps for that fucking, for movies. I forgot the name of the goddamn movie. But she's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But in the forefront, she's never been placed there. Probably never will, unfortunately. Right? So then 2017 comes, Cardi B drops Bodak Yellow. Prow! That's the stamp of the new era. Bodak Yellow. From Bodak Yellow having that fucking massive impact on the industry and on the game, we get a slew of young ladies that were influenced by Nicki. We'll never take that out. But whatever they was doing before Bodak Yellow hit, they probably changed their game plan up a little bit. Like, oh shit, I ain't gotta be lyrical. I could throw my swag. I could turn my swag on and just goddamn pop shit. And the next era, Megan, City Girls, the whole nine come in, ladies popping big shit, not trying to be lyrical. And that's where we are today. And unfortunately, Nicki she missed the cut. She had her runway. She had an era to herself. So honestly, if Spotify were to do something for her, they would have to call it the Queen era. It couldn't even be the Golden era. It would be like the Queen era. And she would just have a fucking museum of shit all to herself. You know what I'm saying? From how she looked in 2006 to how she developed to 2009. Hell, you could do her fucking life story museum. To be honest, if it's the Queen era, you got to put everything in there. You got to go from when she was born, goddamn, when she discovered she was in love with music and you know, being the center of attention. Every good artist has a moment when they're like, I like attention. You know what I'm saying? Before they lean into what they do. You go into her theater foray during school. You know what I mean? You go into her era of trying to get on, doing the waitressing and all of the different odd jobs that she had. You got to go into the Chitlin Circuit era, right? I'm associated with Young Money, but they not really moving the ball era. Then you got the Young Money era, first album. Then you got the actual Young Money albums. Then you got the other shit, right? She has enough to do a fucking exhibit of her own, but unfortunately she just missed the cut on this one. Now, do I think she should have been in it? Yes, I do. There's a lot of people out there that do as well, because regardless of who's out right now, she's still outdoing them, right? Her last album, the ladies have had a chance this year to drop their shit. It's not measuring up to what Pink Friday 2 did. We got to be honest. We got to be real about that. We can say she got a built-in fan base, whatever. That's true. But she's still the leader of the pack. And when you're leading the pack, you got to be front and center. You can't do it without it, right? You don't take Missy out of the 2000s because she was there in the 90s. You don't take Lil' Kim out of the 2000s or Foxy Brown because they were there in 95. So I understand why some people are angry. I understand why they mad. But I also understand why the artist, the painter, may have looked at it differently. This lady may have said she deserves an exhibit of her own based on her legend. And unfortunately, that's not what we're working on at this time. It's what it is. But optically, it does look strange. Right? So that's where I stand on this whole golden era, gold standard of female hip hop. You know, and again, it was made to showcase the ladies of today, the ladies that have come out in the last 7-8 years, the ladies that are of age in this new era. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, Nicki did get snubbed, but I understand why, if anyone cares to come out and explain. Because Spotify, Carl Cherry, it would be nice if you come out and confirm this theory of mine. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that y'all platform has validity and credibility to where it doesn't just look like y'all are just outright blatantly omitting her, because it does look crazy when you just look at it. Somebody got to come out here and just say she has to have her own thing. And y'all would clean it up in a minute just by saying that. But if you're just going to leave it up to the public, y'all niggas going to keep getting stormed. Y'all niggas going to get your fucking, motherfuckers going to be out here reporting y'all accounts going crazy. And until y'all say something and clear it up, maybe it's deserved. Okay? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. Yes, I understand a lot of people out here, you know, when you take personal things into account with Nicki Minaj, you may not agree with her. When you take certain the battle from earlier this year into account, I get it. But when we look at her legendary status, the numbers she's put on the board, the time that she came into hip hop, she was surrounded by guys. None of them guys have survived longer than her. Right? Out of Young Money, the only motherfuckers who, you know what I mean, Wayne was already here. Her and Drake are still here. Drake is going through it right now. But for the most part, if she drops another album next month, that motherfucker's gonna outperform everybody else in the category. We gotta be honest. It just is what it is. Right? But again, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.